Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to the post-race chat of the French GP. We've got our podium finishers here. We've got Fries, aka Rishabh, from the Mercedes AMG in the league. We've got the supreme leader, Zashwin, from Renault, switch in team there. And of course, big man Joe, Danny. Awesome, from Alfa Romeo, of course. So yeah, let's just start off with, before even asking about the French GP, Ashwin, how was
Yeah.
the Renault compared to the Racing Point? And
Uh, am I having network issues actually? It's kind of lagging for
probably,
me.
but
Is it
you're
fine
back.
now? Is it fine now?
Yep,
Yeah, okay,
yep.
cool. So yeah, the Renault actually felt different shifting from Racing Point. Racing Point was comparatively quicker on the straights, but I felt the steering and the controls in corner quite easier compared to Racing Point in Renault. So like before the race happened, I had to get some practice and get to understand the car, how it works. And it took me a few days actually to figure out the setup. And actually, I think I got the best setup at the end of the day for the French track. Yeah, and
Yep.
then quali as it happened, it wasn't quite good. I didn't expect to finish P10 maybe, but compared to what strategy I was on, I thought I had a decent quali because other than Danny, it was only me and me in the top 10 who actually started on the medium strategy. So yeah, so I thought I could make up for it during the race with the one-stop strategy, and to be honest, it worked out pretty decent at the end of the day to finish P3 from P10. Uh,
Mhm.
I would say overall it was a decent race, except for a few incidents here and there. Otherwise, it was quite a good weekend again for myself and my teammate as a whole.
Of course, and we'll talk about those incidents in a bit. But regardless, like you're on the podium in a car which you hadn't driven the previous weekend, and since the whole league is based on realistic performance, that actually matters a lot, right? Moving on, the French GP winner,
Yeah.
Fries, first time winner, first time on the podium this season also. Tell us how it went. We were particularly excited in the commentators box because we saw like a Ferrari and a Mercedes in the front row. So yeah, tell us, how come? Is this a strong circuit for you in general?
Yeah, so generally, so before my previous season stuff, I was having very bad issues with my laptop and with my laptop. So
Oh,
I upgraded to a new laptop. So I took quite a while to get adjusted to the whole new atmosphere, how to control in a very good manner, and then going from full traction to medium traction, just changing all the assists. Just it took me a while. So, but coming to the French GP, I was a bit confident after Canada because Canada I had a little bit of bad luck to be honest, but I still finished in the points. So then coming to French GP, this is one of my very strongest circuit because this is a circuit which I like to be honest. It's a very smooth flowing circuit also. So and even had a very powerful Mercedes AMG car. So I think I had the better option for like, compared to everyone else. So
mm-hmm.
I was in a very good flow at that point of time, but I didn't expect I would finish on the podium because after the safety car, I thought I'm gonna mess my race because I didn't pit at the safety car entry. So, anyways, but it was just good luck on my side. My dad didn't get punctured even though I had 82% of firewear. So
Of
that's
course,
about it.
I was gonna ask you that next. Like, how were the last couple of laps with Big Man Joe like charging behind you, and you had the
Yeah,
5 second time penalty, right?
yeah, I had a 3 second time penalty though. So
Oh,
what happened was when after the safety car, I think it was in lap 10 or 11 in the safety car cabin, and then it was lap 14 when we all resumed, and I was already on 10 laps old medium tires, and Big Mancho was on like 2 or 3 laps old. So it was all Supreme Leader was already catching up to me, but there was an incident between UK and Supreme Leader, so which gave me to an advantage. But then, uh, to be honest, I was after a couple of laps, I thought I'll go for a soft strategy, then go for a pit stop, switch to softs. But I just thought that let's see how the tire wear is going to happen. I had like around 45 to 50% tire wear at that point of time, around 17 to 18 laps. So
mm-hmm.
then I thought, let's see a couple of laps. We'll keep track of Big Manjo's time, like every lap as such. So I was asking Jeff after every lap what was his time. So I see that we both have a constant time period. So that I that gave me some amount of confidence to just go till the end. And the last 3 laps were like devastating for me. I was only on lean mixture. and I couldn't go even on the curbs because I was so afraid if I overdo something, I might just punch on my tire. And I see on the last lap, Big Manjo goes on a very like a quali mode, to be honest, and catches from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. So luckily, with like only 0.3 seconds with me in the hand, I won the race.
That's awesome. Good scene. And do you think you can keep this going? Do you think, moving on to Austria, you'll be able to
Yeah.
perform
I
equally
have a
well?
good, I have a good positive feeling about Austria as well, because like France, Austria, and Hungary are 3 tracks where I excel a bit, and France and Austria are the 2 tracks where I prefer driving on a whole. So I think I can carry this momentum out there as well.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. And like you said, in the last lap, it was almost like a quali lap by Big Man Joe. It's not the first time he's done this. There have been previous instances in a couple of races where he pushes to the max on that last lap. How was the race for you, Danny?
I think all of us coming from the Ultimate T virtual GP, switching back to F1 2019, I think for all of us, we had a bit of hangover in the sense that we had to switch over, our whole understanding of the physics and how the car feels. And I think KTP suffered the worst in that case. Because even I tried, the first few days switching back to the old game, it was pretty rough. Like the car felt really difficult to drive, and it was very different. Like the way the TC and the ABS and all of the assists are implemented in the old game is very different from the new game. So getting used to that was pretty hard. But I think I got used to it at a good moment in time, and then in the race, I felt it was okay. I think quali wasn't great, but I feel like in my starts and all, I can gain a few positions, which I did. I think I jumped almost 3 cars into turn 1, but it was really good start. So I was confident in the race. So even though quali didn't go well, and then good fortune with like a lot of incidents in front of me and behind me and stuff. Luckily, I didn't crash into anyone, which was good. But and the last lap thing I always try, because like I'll just see at that moment, because you'll be in that complete flow of you've just putting in the laps in, trying to be clean. But then if you see there's an opportunity to jump the car ahead, then I basically just saved up everything, saved up all the batteries, and pushed in the end. It came really close. I think only 0.3 of a second between us. I mean, we could have gained that anywhere. We could have lost that anywhere. Even I could have like got a penalty, right? Like pushing so hard. So
Exactly.
it was pretty close at the end. So, yeah.
Impressive. Regardless, you put yourself in the podium and you're still leading the drivers' standings. And if you keep this going, you're probably looking at a championship win.
Yeah, too early, mate. Don't jinx me, please.
Yeah. Yep. Thoughts on Austria, of course. Different kind of track. Fries seems positive. He's possibly another driver who all the front runners still need to like worry about.
I think this is also a power track, right? Like the power of the engine is going to matter a lot here. So if Nischay and Fries and anyone else like in the top 3 teams can get comfortable on this track, I think it's going to be pretty close throughout the entire race. So I'm looking forward to it. I like this track a lot. I think track penalties are going to be an issue going into a lot of corners. So hopefully, I mean, I think I was the only driver in France who didn't get a single penalty. I think I got only 2 warnings. So hopefully I can do the same.
Yep, of course. And Ashwin, before we get into a specific incident I want to talk about is the whole driver switch up. Do you think it's fair? Do you think everyone's in a car which possibly gives everyone a fighting chance? And, it was actually necessary for this to happen?
Yeah, looking at it, I feel the driver championship as of now stands close, because with Danny around 120 points, myself around 105, I guess, and then KDB 95 points. And then if you see the P4, P5, they're close around 80s and 70s range. So it can go. The points table could end up in any order, actually, to be fair. But if you see during last season, it was far the more drastic. Actually, KDB was 70 points ahead of UK at the end, and both KDB and UK were really far away compared to the rest of the field. It could also be due to few mistakes from other drivers as well, because like Danny lost during some races where he could have actually ended up quite higher, and other stuff as well. But keeping it realistic performance and giving the drivers like a realistic car and giving them a chance to actually extract the best out of the car, it's actually a new challenge actually in a way, because if we are going to do like consecutive seasons with equal performance, and we already know how the table is going to end at the end of the day actually. But this different unique idea actually gives that, what to say, uh, pinch of surprise actually, brings in a surprise element to the points table. So we can't predict actually who is going to end up top 3 or top 5, because anyone can do it. Like Nishay right now, after he got the Ferrari, is now bagging those crucial points actually, compared to when he was in a McLaren. So I think it's going to go in any direction, to be fair. So it has made things interesting in our league.
And do you think you can keep giving everybody a fight in the Renault? Because since you all were dominant in the Racing Point, do you think the dominance will continue in the Renault?
Yeah, Renault is actually a good car as well. If you see, like in Monaco and tracks like in street tracks, actually I suffered with the Racing Point because of the lot of understeer that I had. But say if I had a Renault in Monaco, Canada, maybe I could have upped my performance a bit because of the more gradual steering it has. So it also depends on the track. I mean, each car is suited to each track. Like definitely in Monza track, I'm going to lose a lot of time in with the Renault compared to a Racing Point, because it's just as those straights and a few long corners. That's it. But yeah, as I said, every track, each car actually has its own strength in each and every track. So it's how you actually extract the best out of your car for that track. Say if I'm going to go in Italy with the Renault, I'll actually go with much way lower downforce than I would actually go with a Racing Point. So that all makes a difference. So it's all how you again set up your car to extract the max out of its performance for each track.
Cool. Awesome. Good to hear. And talk us through the incident with UK, that spin.
Yeah, before that spin happened, what happened was UK, and it was actually the second lap of safety car, and UK and I were pretty much close to each other. And during the second lap of APSC, what happened was we were almost parallel to each other. So what I was doing is, I thought UK had already had some terrible races, so I gave them as much space as possible heading into the corners and out of the exits as well. So until that particular corner where it was almost a 90-degree corner, so I had to brake a touch early to actually allow both cars to go through that corner. So what I thought was UK overshot his brakes. He braked way much later, and it would have been actually better if he took the outside line than just swipe across me. So what happened was, when he swiped across me, his rear tire touched my front tire, and it made me spin actually. I had nowhere else to go. It wasn't like a Canada corner where two cars going into that penultimate corner was going to be really difficult. Actually, it was possible here for two cars to go. So I think if UK had given me that much space, maybe he could have say overtook me in the next corner, or if he got a better exit. So I was kind of pissed that until that point I had actually cared about UK's race. I gave him enough space to actually make it through, and UK just wiped across me and spoiled my race. So I was kind of annoyed at that point, really annoyed, and that's what I thought actually, to be honest.
Cool. Boys, Rishabh and Daniel, thoughts on this particular incident? Did y'all get a chance to go through the stream? Did y'all have a look, or are y'all completely phased about this incident and have no knowledge? Rishabh?
Yeah, so I have seen the incident like with my POV also, because I was watching them with my rear end cam. So
Okay.
I think it was a bit harsh on Ashwin, because UK, they didn't have the space to go in, but he just forced himself into Ashwin. That's how I think it's believed. But it's just a racing incident, because two cars just fighting for a position just after a safety car, because there are people who are, just right behind each other, and they don't want to tend to lose positions, because if you lose one, you may lose multiple positions. So it's just a racing incident and just overshooting at a particular point of time. But I would say your UK should be a bit more cautious regarding this issue. But okay, Ashwin didn't lose a lot of places that we would actually suppose he lose. So it's fair.
Okay, cool. Daniel?
Yeah, you want my answer as a steward or as a driver?
As a driver. Let's go driver.
Yeah, because as stewards, we've already spent almost an hour on this and we've already come up with a decision. So I think I was right behind them, right? So I could see this unfolding. For me, I didn't think about it too much. Like I felt okay. UK braked a bit late and tried to try taking the outside line. But since he's on the keyboard, if he turns a fractionally early, he's just going to take the racing line. He's not going to go on the outside line. So it just happened like right in front of me, and then it didn't seem too bad. Like I just went around Ashwin and I just continued the race. It didn't look like a punt. It didn't look like there was anything malicious in that incident. It just sort of like a racing incident, but also like I think UK could have, even he would have agreed, I could have just maybe turned a tad bit late so that I could have given Ashwin more space. But not too bad of an incident. I think Ashwin didn't DNF and all, so it was okay.
Yeah.
I think he didn't lose too much time there. So he's still on the podium. So if he wasn't, I think he would have made it a bigger issue.
Yeah, for sure. Got himself on the podium. Where's UK? He's not here. Anyway, speaking of that, a rather significant driver who is driving at his best till date. I hope he doesn't take any offense when I say this and when he watches this. But Sicknick, I don't know if you all got a chance to watch how Sicknick drove at the French GP. We were rather surprised because a Red Bull, we've never seen a Red Bull attacking as much as he was at France. So thoughts on that? Anyone? Y'all can choose to not say anything, of course.
From what I saw, actually, myself, Sika and KDB were pretty close to each other during the initial 2 to 3 laps. So what I was talking to my teammate Vignesh was that Sika was slightly wobbling here and there. Like he didn't choose a particular line. So I was telling my teammate that Sika was being quite erratic actually during the initial few laps. I don't know why that happened, because there was so much chaos during the first lap and accelerate spun during lap 1 itself, and then it was pretty close actually the next 2 laps actually. And then what happened was Sika, I think he had a network issue, I guess, because he was glitching now and then, and that might have caused him to actually misjudge KDB's pace ahead of him, and maybe that could have been one of the reasons why Sika went and punted on to KDB and made him spin. But so what I saw from Sika's drive during the initial few laps was quite itchy, I would say. Not one of the cleanest, but that might be due to his network issues. But Sika is generally a clean driver as far as I've seen him actually drive.
Yep. Danny, no comment, or for you?
I don't remember much. I don't think me and him had a lot of incidents. I think lap 1 he was putting a bit of pressure, but it was all right. But then, like once I looked back at the stream and saw some of the moves that he made, I don't know what to say. Like aggressive, maybe a tad too like over aggressive at some points, because he was like diving down the inside, whether the car was giving him space or not giving him space. I think maybe he was just really confident in the Red Bull. I felt like usually he doesn't do that, because I was his teammate in season 2, right? He's an okay driver. He's not so aggressive like this, but then again, I've been hearing that he is doing these sort of moves off late. So I don't know, maybe he's getting he's getting really confident in that Red Bull and wants to do some Max Verstappen like moves. Let's see.
Yep. Rishabh, what about you? Or were you too busy leading the race and you didn't care much about the back?
It's not about that though, but I've like read on the stream, I saw like his moves as well. So I think it was like, I think it's because of the track, to be honest, because the track doesn't have sidewalls, anything, to be honest now. It's a very smooth flowing track, and even though if he gets a nudge or if he tends to move away from the track, he can just move away into the soft earth which are there on the stage. So I think that gave him enough amount of confidence that suppose if something happens, nothing will happen to his car just because there's nothing to crash into. So I think that factor led him to do all this, the super aggressive moves which he was doing, cutting down the inside, cutting down the outside, left, right, center. So yeah.
Of course, regardless, great race. We enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure you all enjoyed it. Congratulations on your first win of the season, Freeze. I hope to see you on the podium multiple times. Onwards to Austria. See you all.
Yeah, see you, man.
Thanks, Atak. Have a good day.
You, bye-bye.